Social proof is one of the most effective marketing tools you can use in your business. And when I'm talking about social proof, it's actually just like a fancy word for testimonials. Testimonials are what we use as service providers to be able to share our clients' experience in their own words. So today on the Support Squad, I'm going to be sharing why social proof is so important for service providers, how and when to collect testimonials from clients, and I'll be answering the age-old question, how do I get testimonials if I haven't had a client yet? I get that question all the time. So we're going to be covering all of that today. Let's get ready to dive in. If you don't know me yet, my name is Sharon Nissen. I'm the creator of the Support Squad, which is a podcast and membership community for virtual assistants. It's my mission to help women build happy virtual assistant businesses where we are serving our dream clients and doing work that we love. So that is my mission. That is what I do with the Support Squad, and I'm so excited to see some of you guys here. Hang on, my husband's calling me. All right, sorry guys, my husband was calling me. He should know better to call me when I'm going live, but there you have it. So welcome everyone. I'm gonna pop in real quick and say hi to the folks that are here. Hey, it's so good to see you guys. All right, so to start off with, what I want to talk to you guys about is why we need social proof, why it is so important for service providers, and then we'll go into the rest. But to start off with, testimonials are important because as business owners, they are how we build trust with our potential clients. It's so much different from being an employee. When you're searching for a job, you have your resume, they do background checks, there's all these different ways that they can start to build trust with you. As business owners, it really becomes our responsibility to create and provide that trust with potential clients. And if they're not calling our past employers, if they're not seeing our work history, some of the best ways we can do that are through things like having a portfolio of examples of our work, or having testimonials from past clients where they can really back us up and say that we did what we promised. And that's why it's so powerful. As business owners, our name we are responsible for that. We are responsible for the way that the outside sees us. And testimonials are a great way to step outside, just using our own words and actually using our own clients' words to talk us up a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. So the other thing that I want to talk about too is why it's important to build that trust with potential clients online. And that's because so many people have been scammed. So many people have, a lot of people have had bad experiences with virtual assistants in the past where they haven't gotten what they were promised. And that's just that extra way of bridging that gap and building that trust. It's so important. So then let's talk a little bit about how and when we get those testimonials. What are the best ways and the best times to collect testimonials? So to start with, there's I see it as kind of two different ways in which virtual assistants work. Some virtual assistants have a handful of clients that they work on like a recurring or retainer sort of basis. So these are like your executive virtual assistants, people that are on more of a recurring basis with clients. And it can be kind of tricky to know the timing. So like if you are ongoing with your client, you're not going through an offboarding process with them at any point. So you have to be a little bit strategic about how and when you're asking for those testimonials for them. And so I always like to think of it as approaching your clients when they are in the best possible mood, when they are super happy with the work that you have done. So sometimes that I like to ask my recurring retainer clients for testimonials is well, let me back this up a little bit and just explain to you one process that I do with my retainer clients, which is every month when I send their invoice, I always include a personal note that kind of summarizes everything that we accomplished for the month. So I'll say, thank you so much for another amazing month. These are the things that we accomplished. Here's your invoice for next month. And that's something that I always do with my retainer clients. Now, if we've had a particularly exciting month, if we've launched something, if I handled something that was really tricky for my client, if I improved a process in their business, going into that email and customizing it a little bit to say, hey, and I feel like we did a really great job with this month. I would love to be able to share that experience with other clients so that they could see the kind of results that we got. Would you please provide me with a couple of sentences about how you felt that this went for us this month? And that's a great way, if you're not in a space with a client where you're offboarding them, but you have a happy recurring client, it is totally appropriate after those wins, after those great months, to step in and say, hey, could you provide this little testimonial for me? So that's one way to handle things with retainer clients. Then of course we have some virtual assistants work with clients on more of a project basis. So if you're a virtual assistant that does things like design websites or design logos, or you have packages or things that kind of complete in a month or in a period of time, and then you offboard those clients. It's really important to have in your offboarding process a place where clients can leave their feedback and leave a testimonial. So with project-based VAs, it becomes a little more clear about when is an appropriate time to ask for that testimonial, because it's basically just whenever that project ends, right? So that's a little bit more clear. So the next part of this is, sorry, I'm gonna pop in real quick. I just saw a couple people mention some things. Will you leave this on the replay? I love how you're ready to repurpose your content. Yes, Christina, always there's a replay, and I'm recording so many places right now, so you'll get this conversation on the podcast, on YouTube, in the Facebook group, on Instagram. I put this everywhere, so you guys can always go back and reference these lives. I definitely repurpose my content as much as I can. It's how I'm able to save a lot of time while I'm in quarantine with my kiddos. I'm really trying to maximize my time. So you guys can always access this content in all of the places. So thank you, Christina, for that little comment. So next I want to talk about a really important thing that comes up as we're asking for testimonials from clients. We want to make it really easy for them to leave us a testimonial, because that's going to kind of encourage them to do it more. And so there's a few ways that we can ask clients for testimonials. And some of these might be kind of controversial, and so I'm gonna just throw some ideas out there, and you guys can kind of take and tweak these processes until it's something that you're comfortable with. So for me, my favorite tried and true way to ask for testimonials for clients is with a Google form. I love Google Forms because most people are familiar with how they work. It's really easy to send to clients, and also you can input some specific questions, so you can kind of shape the conversation. So if you're telling a client that you want feedback from them, you want to make sure that you do have a place where they can offer, suggestions or things that could have gone better. But overall, you want to shape the questions that you're asking them in a really positive way so that they can give you those sound bites that you can use for marketing. So you definitely don't want to create a testimonial form that encourages your clients to leave a lot of negative feedback. You want to shape it in a little bit of a more positive way. So some of my favorite questions to ask clients on these testimonial forms are, what is something tangible that I did in your business that's going to help your ROI, so your return on investment? So letting folks know really why them hiring you ended up being a great investment in their business. If you can get sound bites where people are specifically talking about the investment they made and how it paid off, like that is solid gold. That will sell your services to other potential clients really easily. Another question I like to ask is, what is something that you feel went really well for us during this process? So that you can get kind of a tidbit of like what really stood out to them about your process. Another thing I like to ask is, how do you feel about the communication between us? Where is everything clear? Because if you are doing your job right and you are communicating clearly, I think that's one of the things that potential clients are most looking for with a virtual assistant. Is the communication clear? Are those lines open? And if you have sound bites that you can use about that clear line of communication, that's going to create a really positive impression for potential clients. So those are just some of the questions that I use, and of course I like to use them in a Google form. So I've worked with some coaches, and this is the controversial thing I was going to mention. I've worked with some coaches who have used this technique with their coaching clients. And what they do is they provide basically a template for the testimonial, and they kind of give them the opportunity to personalize that testimonial so that they get really exactly the sound bites that they're looking for. They're making it easy for their clients to contribute that testimonial, and they're really shaping the conversation. So this is a little bit controversial just because it could look as though you are just asking them to sign off on a testimonial you've written yourself, but we know that we work for really busy clients sometimes. And so sometimes if they can take something that you've already written, tweak it a little bit, and it gives you what you need and they can feel good about it, sometimes that can be a great solution. So that's just a little tidbit I wanted to put into your head. Other great ways to ask for testimonials is just with a quick email. Say, could you provide me a couple of sentences or a paragraph about our experience together? It all comes down to just asking for what you need. I have never had a client that was not more than willing to give me a testimonial. It all comes down to just asking and making sure that you're asking for exactly what you need and making it easy for them to do that for you. Don't ever feel like you're burdening your clients or anything like that, because as we know, we all work for small business owners. A lot of us work for online business owners. A lot of us work for other creatives or coaches or people that know the power of a good testimonial. So they're gonna understand why you're asking, and if you've done a great job, they're gonna be more than happy to provide that for you. So then the last thing I want to cover today is one of the questions I get all the time. It's kind of that chicken before the, which came first, the chicken or the egg kind of question. Oh, hang on, am I still there? Okay, I think I'm still good. It's kind of that, which came first, the chicken or the egg? And it's, how do I get testimonials to attract potential clients if I've never had a client? And that is a very legitimate question. So what I want to caution you against right now is thinking that in order to get testimonials, you have to do a lot of work for free. I don't encourage virtual assistants to do a ton of work for free just in order to get testimonials. I find that you can build testimonials over time. It's an asset for your business that you will build over time as you work with more clients. But if you want to get right out of the gate with a couple of testimonials, I think that's really smart, but you have to be smart and strategic with your time. You can't be giving away tons of free services just in order to get testimonials. So what you have to do is kind of create some boundaries for yourself around this process. If you're going to be doing work for free to get testimonials, here's one of the ways that I suggest going about that. I love doing trades with other virtual assistants, even more so than offering your services to an ideal client, because another virtual assistant is going to really understand the kinds of testimonials you're going to need. Also, if you do a trade with another virtual assistant where you trade services, especially for new virtual assistants, it can help you to build the different elements that you need for your brand. So say you are a blogger and you want to do a trade with a virtual assistant who is a graphic designer. So you could do a trade, you could write them a blog, like a guest blog. They could create a graphic for you, and you guys do that trade, and then you both write each other testimonials. I like this so much better than doing free work for even an ideal client, because it sets up the expectation that you are a business owner. You're not just going to be doing things for free. And if you are going to do things for free, it's going to be in a way that is mutually beneficial for everyone involved. And it's a way that's going to help you build connections. So doing trades with other virtual assistants, especially ones that have kind of complementary skills and services to you, it's going to help you to network. It's going to help you to build that web of connections that's so important as we're building our businesses. Building connections with other VAs can result in referrals and partnerships and all of those fun things. So if you haven't had any clients yet, and if you want to build up some testimonials, I'd recommend hopping in to a virtual assistant Facebook group, the Support Squad Hangout on Facebook, my Facebook group. You are always welcome in there to offer trades with other VAs, to build up your testimonials, to build up your portfolio, all of that. I think that is a great way to get some social proof without giving the milk for free, if that makes sense. So I want to really encourage you not to work for free or do too much work for free as a beginning virtual assistant. If you do work for free, make sure that the parameters are really clear. There's a clear start and end to what you're going to be doing, and there's really clear expectations with the other person, because it can really start to spiral out of control if you're just offering things for free. So those are my tips, you guys. I was really happy to be with all of you today. It's nice to see some folks on Instagram and on Facebook. And again, I will be posting this everywhere, the podcast, so you'll be able to access this content anytime. So I encourage you guys, if you don't have testimonials, hop in a Facebook group, get some collaborations going, and start building up that social proof, because it's really gonna help you to build that trust and attract those dream clients. So thanks for joining me, you guys. I will see you next time. Bye.